guys, welcome back to What's on My Plate. So for dinner tonight, I'm making a beef soup. It's going to be so delicious. I make it all the time. It's quick, it's easy to make, and it's so tasty. So let's get started. Okay, so let's get started with this soup. Super easy. So first of all, this is a beef bone in Hind Shanks with the bone here. And this is 1.2 pounds. So you need about 1.2 pounds or 1.5 pounds is more than enough. So I'm going to set this aside for right now. And then I'm going to do chop my carrots. So I started chopping them here, but I just wanted to show you. I like to cut the end off of the carrot because this part's thinner than this part. And then if this is too thick, I cut it in half again because we want it to be bite-sized pieces. And also the pasta we're using is Ditalini, and it's so small that you don't want the carrot to be huge. So with that being said, I just start chopping, just small pieces, nothing big. Okay, chop, chop, chop. Okay, so I'm going to finish the carrots, and then, so basically it's 5 medium to large carrots. It doesn't have to be perfectly chopped, just, you know, bite-sized pieces. Okay? Okay. And then the next thing is the celery. Let me move the carrot out of here so I have room. It's super quick and easy to make this soup, and it's so delicious. I eat it with Ritz crackers. I love it. I actually take the crackers and I just crush them right on top. So good. So this is basically 3 large pieces of celery, and then I just cut them in half, and then I'm just going to cut them, chop them up. Like, you know, this size piece. Not too big and not too small, you know, you still want to have that bite. Okay, so I'm going to do all this to all of the celery. So basically I had just taken it and cut it right in half like that. What I have here is a small onion. I'm gonna just throw this in just the way it is. I just actually just maybe make a little X on top, and this is gonna flavor the soup. At the end I throw this out. If you don't want to throw it out, just chop it in your soup. That's up to you. That's what my husband likes me to do, but I just set it aside for him. He could do that on his own. And then we're going to do 2 large cloves of garlic. The pieces I have are not large, so I just have like a few pieces of garlic, just the way they are. They're going to go right in. Oil, just the way it is. So I'm just going to finish chopping up this celery, and then I'm just going to show you how quick it all comes together. It's done. So it's basically my onion, my garlic, my potato, my celery, my carrot, my Ditalini pasta goes in at the end, and my beef bone in Hind Shank. That's why it's a beef soup. It's going to be great. It's so easy. This is it. This is all we need. Salt, pepper, and a little small can of tomato sauce and water, and we're ready to go. So let's get to the next step. Okay, so I have a large pot here. I filled it more than halfway up with water. I actually measured it. I put 21 cups of water in here. You just need enough water to cover your meat and everything that you're cooking. So here's my beef. The water is salted. So here's my beef. It's going in cold water. Here's the other piece. Sometimes I put like 3 large pieces of the beef in there, but my gosh, the price went like triple what it was in the past. It was like ridiculous. So 2 pieces are more than enough. I just like the extra. So then here I go. I put my garlic in. I put my onion in. I add my celery and my carrots. Again, remember I salted the water. And then I add my potato. So this is going to go to a boil, and then we're going to simmer it for 20 to 30 minutes. As soon as you can pierce the potato a little bit, remove the potato. And as soon as you can fork the beef here and it's soft enough, that's when we're going to remove it. So you're looking at 25 to 30 minutes on a simmer, and we leave it alone. And so uncovered, just leave it uncovered. After that simmer of 25 to 30 minutes is done, I remove the potatoes, which I'll show you. I just will remove the potato like this, and then I'll chop it up in smaller pieces. I'll remove the meat. I'll let it cool for a little bit, and then I'll chop this up in little pieces. Then I'll remove my onion, and I'll remove my garlic, and then that is when I'll start adding my pasta in and my can of sauce, and literally it's gonna be done. And all we need is just a little more salt to season it. But the one thing I just forgot to add was the bay leaf. Always add bay leaves to your soups. So I'm gonna just add 2. My bay leaves are kind of broken, so 2 bay leaves. Salted water, and then we can add the pepper at the end. So basically that's it. All we're doing right now is we're waiting for this to come to a boil, and then it's gonna simmer for 25 minutes, possibly 30 minutes. Look how great. This soup is so delicious. You're gonna love it. I make it all the time, especially in the fall and the winter. Oh my gosh. And then if I have leftover, I make it for lunch. So let this all get going and just see how simple it is. Like, I'm sure you have bay leaves in your kitchen. I'm sure you have an onion, some garlic, salt, 2 potatoes, and then some carrots and celery. All you need to do is get the beef, and then you get the water. So you're not adding like broth and like beef stock or anything. You're actually making it here on your own. So this is perfect. So we'll get to the next step after this simmers for 25 to 30 minutes. Okay, so my soup started to boil, and then I put it on a simmer. Just so you know, once it starts to boil, you get all of this like foamy stuff on top. Just take that and dump it out. So just like scoop it. Let's see if I can show you. Just scoop all of this part here out of the soup. And now it's just going to simmer for 25 minutes. So you have to let it get to a boil. Once it starts to boil, that's when you're timing it for 25 minutes. So yeah, I just scoop out all of this, I forgot what it's called, this foam on top. The other thing is I noticed I said my pasta's Ditalini. I don't know why I call it Ditalini all the time, but this is the pasta I use. It's Ditalini, but I call it Ditalini. I don't know why. But anyway, 25 minutes on simmer, and then we're going to take the meat and the potatoes out, and then remove the onion and the garlic and the bay leaf. Or you can leave the garlic and the bay leaf until everything finishes to cook. Okay, so my 25 minutes are up, And here I'm going to take out my onion. Again, you can save the onion on the side and you can chop it up and add it in if that's what you'd like. Then I'm going to take my potatoes out. Let me get the other one. And then I'm going to take my meat out. Okay. And at this point you could take out the bay leaves if you want, but you could still leave them in there. They'll just keep adding flavor. And then what I'm going to do is I'm taking 1 8-ounce can of sauce and I'm adding it to it. Then I'm just going to rinse out the can with just a little bit of water. It's probably about 2 tablespoons of water. I'm adding that in. Just mix it up. Keep it on simmer. And then what we're going to do is we are going to add our pasta. So if you like your soup more like watery, don't add that much pasta. This way you have the broth. If you like it to be thick and full of pasta in every bite, then you're going to add 1 to 1.5 cups. That's 1.5 cups of pasta in here. If you don't want that much pasta in here, just put 1/2 cup or 3/4 cups of pasta in here. So leave it. Now the pasta is going to cook. It's going to take about 15 minutes or so. It's on simmer, so now it's got to get to a boil again. While it's doing that, we're going to go ahead and chop up our meat and our potatoes. And then we're going to add it back into here. So right now everything's, the pasta's in here and it's simmering with the carrots and the celery. Okay, so here's my potato. And I'm just going to cut it in bite-sized pieces. It's not fully cooked, but we're going to add it back in. And this will help the broth thicken up, the potato. So just cut it like this. Okay, just bite-sized pieces, so it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, and then I'm going to take all this, just put it aside, and then I'm going to work on the other one. Okay, and then if you want to use the onion, you could do the same thing with the onion, just slice it up. See, it's tender and it's not fully cooked. And then you cut it, and it's going to break down in the broth. So I'm just going to move this aside as well. And I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of salt on the potatoes, just a tiny little bit. And then we're going to put some pepper on here too. I don't know if you could see this part, but it's just the potatoes I just chopped. So then the next step is, if you want to use the onion, you can. There's a lot of flavor in it. And then just slice it up in pieces and just add it right back to the soup. And then so for the meat, this is how you do it. Okay, because it has like some fat on here. Just cut it. I have some little pieces of celery in here. It's actually really hot to touch it right now, but I'm going to do it. So it's one piece. So I'm just cutting it right off the bone. I'm cutting the pieces of fat off. There's just a few. And then you're just going to cut this up in little tiny pieces. So let me just like tiny bite-sized pieces that you would want to eat in your soup. Not too small, but not too big. Okay, so cut it like this. Okay, and then I'm going to take this and move it aside with my potatoes because this is going to go right back in. And this soup is just so delicious. You can have it with bread. I eat it with Ritz crackers. I just love it with Ritz crackers. And then just little pieces. My mom has been making this soup since I was a little girl, and so this is like her recipe. I tweaked it a little bit, but this, I've been having this for so long. And then we'll work on the next piece here. So just, that's a good piece. And then just cut it off the bone. Okay. Cut off like the cartilage here. Whatever this stuff is here at the end. It's like sticky little fat cartilage. Okay, and then I'm just gonna do the same thing for this piece. Just cut it in little pieces. That's a good size. Even smaller if you want. I just like to have it in every bite. Okay. It's very quick, easy soup to make, and it's delicious. Like the whole house smells amazing right now. And it's so healthy, and the ingredients, like, that's why I like not having that many ingredients and stuff, because you can literally make everything, if you can make everything taste good with minimal ingredients, I mean, that's amazing. That's how my mom does it, you know. So this is all my meat, and I'm going to do a close-up here so you can see I plated it right here. So that's my meat, and those are my potatoes, and that's going to go right back in right now. Okay, so basically I'm just going to mix this really quick because I had the pasta in here. So the pasta's not done cooking yet. It's in here with a can of sauce. We're leaving it in there. You can sprinkle some salt in here. Wait till the end. So it's just about a 1/4 teaspoon of salt because I added some salt to the potatoes. Now I'm adding it all back in. And now that this is going in, it's probably about 15-minute cook time. The pasta should be done. The sauce is going to thicken up. Well, it's not sauce, the broth is going to thicken up. And it's going to be perfect. And then you could just put a lid on it, move it to the side, and when you're ready for dinner, you just heat it back up. And when I plate it, I'll show you. Also, now that the potato and the meat's in, increase it so you get a little bit of a boil, because you just want the pasta to cook as if you were making pasta. Let's get a boil, and then 15 minutes, it should be done. Shut it off. So my soup is done, and I just want you to see how great it looks. It thickened up. The potato helps the broth thicken up. It's just like amazing. I'm gonna plate it, and then gonna add my Ritz crackers to it. But this soup is great. All you need to do is just add a little bit of pepper, which I already added some pepper, but you know, you can add some pepper, and don't add any more salt until you taste it, because we had salted the water. And then at this point, you know, you could take your garlic pieces out, and you can take the bay leaf out. So let me just do like a close up here. I'm going to show you. Just every bite is going to have pasta, carrot, potato. So I hope you enjoyed watching this, and I hope you try making it. You will not be disappointed. So thank you so much for watching what's on my plate.